All right, so cryptocurrency, right? Everyone's talking about it. Things are moving so fast, and the stakes are higher than ever.
Absolutely.
And today, we're diving deep into one of the major players in this space, Coinbase.
Definitely a company to watch.
Now, a lot of people know Coinbase is like that crypto exchange, right? But what we're really interested in, what makes this deep dive so fascinating, is that their ambitions go way beyond just buying and selling Bitcoin. They're making moves to be a cornerstone of this whole new financial system.
Yeah, they're not just along for the ride. They want to shape the future.
Exactly. And it's been a wild ride so far. I mean, just look at their financials. They went from tens of millions in revenue back in 2019 to almost $8 billion in 2021.
That's some serious growth.
Huge. Of course, things have cooled down a bit since then, which is another reason why this deep dive is so timely. We're going to unpack both the incredible potential and the very real challenges they're facing.
Right, because understanding the full picture, the ups and downs, that's crucial.
Absolutely. So, to kick things off, we're tapping into this goldmine of a source. A recent conversation with Coinbase's CFO, Alesia Haas, from the Citi 2024 Global TMT Conference.
Oh, I love those kind of insights, getting into the minds of the leadership, hearing their priorities firsthand.
Exactly. It's like we're eavesdropping on a high-level strategy session, getting a glimpse behind the scenes that you wouldn't normally get from press releases and quarterly reports.
Totally. So what did Ms. Haas have to say? What's got Coinbase fired up these days?
Well, one theme that really jumps out is this idea of, and I'm going to use their language here, crypto utility. They're putting their money where their mouth is, betting big on crypto being more than just a speculative asset.
Yeah, we're starting to see that shift from just the hype of, can I make a quick buck, to how can this technology actually be useful in my life?
Exactly. And Coinbase, they see it being woven into the fabric of how we transact on a global scale.
Now that's a vision. Any specific examples of what that might look like?
Well, Haas specifically mentions Base, a technology they're developing that's aiming to compete with systems like SWIFT. Imagine sending money from, say, Argentina to Australia.
Okay, got it. Cross-border transactions.
And it happens instantly. Costs a fraction of what you'd normally pay, all secured and tracked on a transparent blockchain. That's the kind of future they're building towards.
That's ambitious, to say the least. But obviously, they're not naive to the current landscape. Regulation is still a huge question mark hanging over the entire industry.
Absolutely, and Haas addresses that head on. Coinbase knows they can't build this future in a vacuum. They're actively working with regulators, not against them, to try to shape the rules of this new financial world.
Which, strategically, is a really smart move. It's easy to see regulation as the enemy of innovation, but they seem to understand that clear guidelines, even if they're not as exciting as the technology itself, they're essential for long-term success.
It's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Fostering innovation while also ensuring consumer protection.
A tightrope walk, for sure.
And they're right in the thick of it. I mean, it's still so early. Legally speaking, there's so much uncertainty. But they're not just reacting to regulations as they pop up. They're trying to shape them. She even points to their Stand with Crypto initiative, which aims to build bipartisan support for crypto-friendly policies.
Okay, so they're playing the long game, understanding that this isn't just about navigating the current regulatory maze, but also about advocating for a future that allows this technology to thrive.
Exactly. So we've got this glimpse into their current strategy straight from the CFO. Crypto utility, working with regulators, shaping the future of finance. But what does this actually look like on the ground, in their business model, in their products?
Okay, so we've heard it straight from the CFO. Crypto utility, engaging with regulators, this ambition to really shape the future of finance. But, talk is cheap. Right. The proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Exactly. So let's dig into how these grand goals actually translate into their business strategy, their products, their overall approach. And for that, there's no better place to look than a company's own filings.
You're talking about those juicy 10K reports, right?
Oh, yeah, those dense documents that most people wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole.
I've definitely spent my fair share of late nights with those things.
But hey, that's why we're here. We're doing the deep dive, and let me tell you, those 10Ks are packed with insights. They lay bare not just their revenue streams, but also the risks that Coinbase itself is most worried about.
It's like getting a peek behind the investor relations curtain. What are they actually concerned about? Where are they placing their bets?
Exactly. And the first thing that jumps out is this. Coinbase. They don't want to be just another trading app. They're not content with just being a place where you buy and sell Bitcoin.
They want to be the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, they're aiming to be this foundational part of the entire crypto world. And that means branching out in some really interesting ways.
Okay, so give me the highlights. What are some of these branches? What are they investing in?
Well, their 10K highlights three key areas. We've got the Coinbase wallet, Coinbase Prime, and then their staking services.
So they're diversifying, hedging their bets a bit. But do these all tie together somehow? Is there a unifying thread?
Absolutely. And they all feed into this idea of building a more inclusive, more decentralized financial system. They're basically creating this whole suite of tools for engaging with crypto no matter where you're at on the spectrum.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's break those down one by one. First up, the Coinbase wallet. What's the big deal there?
So it's a self-custody wallet. Now, that might sound like jargon, but what it means is that users, they control their own private keys, their own assets.
Ah, so it taps into that whole ethos of decentralization, right? You're not relying on some third party, some institution to be the custodian of your money.
Exactly. It's a huge draw for those who are all in on that aspect of crypto, this idea that you're in the driver's seat, you have complete control.
Got it. So that's for the diehards, the true believers. But what about, the bigger players, the institutions that are starting to eye the crypto space?
Well, Coinbase hasn't forgotten about them. That's where Coinbase Prime comes in.
Okay, they're institutional grade platforms, so they're going after the big fish too.
Big time. We're talking advanced trading features, custody solutions designed specifically for institutions, even prime brokerage services. Everything a hedge fund or asset manager would need to dive into crypto.
Smart move, because those institutional players, they bring a lot to the table. Liquidity, legitimacy, the whole nine yards.
Exactly. They recognize that to really achieve their vision, they need those big players on board.
Okay, makes sense. Now, what about this staking thing? I'll admit I'm a bit fuzzy on the details.
Yeah, staking can be a bit head-scratchy at first. Essentially, users are locking up their crypto to help secure a proof-of-stake blockchain network.
Okay, so they're contributing to the network's security in exchange for...
Rewards. Kind of like earning interest. Coinbase facilitates this whole process and takes a cut of those rewards.
So it's another revenue stream for them, but it's also strategic, right? It incentivizes users to hold on to their crypto long term, which theoretically contributes to a more stable and, hopefully a more valuable market.
Exactly. And again, it aligns with their whole philosophy, right?
Hmm.
This isn't just about making a quick buck. They want to see a thriving, sustainable crypto ecosystem.
Okay, so we've got the wallet targeting individual users and their desire for control. We've got Prime going after the institutions and the potential for massive growth. And we've got staking, this kind of hybrid approach that generates revenue while also supporting their long-term vision. But let's be real, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? I mean, the crypto space is notoriously volatile, unpredictable.
Yeah, and to their credit, Coinbase doesn't shy away from that. In fact, their 10K is surprisingly candid about the risks they're facing.
Which honestly is refreshing. Transparency is crucial, especially in an industry like this. So lay it on me. What are they most worried about?
Lay it on me. What are they most worried about?
Well, top of the list, regulation. Makes sense, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've touched on it, but yeah, that whole landscape is still so uncertain.
Totally. One new law, one shift in regulatory thinking, and Coinbase's entire business model could be thrown for a loop.
It's like they're building a plane while it's still in the air.
Perfect analogy. And then, of course, there's the competition.
Which, let's be honest, is fierce.
An understatement. Because it's not just other crypto startups they're up against. You've got these traditional financial institutions, the big banks, the investment giants. They're starting to circle the wagons.
Right. They're dipping their toes into the crypto waters. And let's be real, they've got deep pockets, they've got decades of experience, and they're not afraid to use them.
So it's like a David and Goliath situation, except there are like multiple Goliaths.
Right. It's a tough landscape. And on top of all that, there's the ever-present issue of security. I mean, this is crypto. We're talking about digital assets, prime targets for hackers.
And a major breach, it wouldn't just be bad for Coinbase, it could shake the entire industry to its core. Because remember, this whole thing, it's built on trust.
Trust is a fragile thing.
Absolutely. Easy to lose, incredibly hard to rebuild. And then, we can't forget about the breakneck speed of innovation in this space.
Oh, yeah. What's cutting edge today could be obsolete tomorrow.
Exactly. So Coinbase, they constantly have to be adapting, evolving even faster than traditional financial institutions. And that takes serious resources, serious brain power.
It's a marathon on a constantly shifting track. So, okay, we've covered the ambitions, the strategies, the potential pitfalls, but we'd be remiss if we didn't zoom out a bit. What does Coinbase's journey, their struggles, their successes, what does it all tell us about the future of finance? And more importantly, for our listeners, what might it mean for them? for their financial lives?
The million-dollar question, right? I think at its core, Coinbase's story highlights this fundamental shift that's underway. We're moving from this world of centralized finance, where these big institutions hold all the cards, to a more decentralized system.
Where individuals have more control, right?
Yeah.
More access. I mean, that's a huge part of the crypto promise.
Exactly. Think about the potential of DeFi, decentralized finance.